Welcome to Whispering Cabins, where the woods are quiet, the stories are eerie, and the night whispers just for you. Settle in and listen closely. Tonight, we tell the story of the hotel that never ages. The rain had started hours ago, steady, relentless, the kind that blurred the world into watercolor. Claire squinted through her windshield, the road a slick ribbon reflecting her headlights. Her phone had long since lost signal, and the GPS map froze somewhere between rural Route 11 and a string of grey nothingness. She should have reached the next town by now, should have found a motel. But here she was, half a tank left, nerves buzzing from caffeine and static radio. Then, just as the rain thickened to a silvery curtain, she saw it. A wooden sign lit by an old-fashioned lantern. The Maple Hollow Inn. Vacancy. Since 1892. Claire almost laughed in relief. It looked charming, if a little misplaced. A wide porch, dark green shutters, and a stone chimney puffing out cheerful smoke. The kind of place that should have been booked solid for autumn foliage season. She pulled in, tires crunching over wet gravel, and parked beside a line of antique cars that looked pristine. Too pristine, she thought absently, for their age. Inside, the inn was all honeyed wood and amber lamplight. A fire crackled in the great hearth, and the air smelled of cinnamon and pine. A bell above the door jingled, and immediately a woman in a lace-trimmed blouse appeared from behind the counter. "Welcome to Maple Hollow Inn," she said warmly. "You must be drenched. Let's get you settled." Her name was Margaret, according to the little brass nameplate. Her smile was soft and precise, like it had been practiced long ago and never worn out. Claire felt an immediate wash of comfort. "Thank you. I was starting to think I'd have to sleep in my car." "Oh, we wouldn't let that happen," Margaret replied. "We always have room. Always." Her room was perfect. Cozy quilt, flickering fireplace, a window overlooking the dark woods. There was even a tray of shortbread cookies on the dresser. Everything had that faintly nostalgic scent of lemon polish and wood smoke. As she unpacked, Claire heard laughter downstairs, the pleasant, rhythmic hum of people chatting by the fire. Curious, she went to the lounge. A small group of guests sat around the hearth, a couple playing cards, an elderly man reading a newspaper, a young woman knitting by the window. They looked up as she entered, smiling, as though they'd been waiting for her. "First time at the Hollow?" asked the man with the newspaper. "Yes," Claire said, taking a seat nearby. "Got caught in the storm." "Lucky you," the woman knitting said. "You'll never find a warmer place to rest." There was something familiar about her voice, low and soothing, like a lullaby Claire half remembered. They talked for a while, swapping travel stories. The guests all spoke fondly of the inn, how it was just the same every year, and how Margaret keeps everything in perfect order. When Claire mentioned the antique cars outside, the card-playing couple chuckled. "Oh, yes," said the man. "We all like to keep to our favorites. They don't make them like they used to." He winked, and for a moment, Claire noticed the faintest shimmer behind his eyes, like candlelight flickering behind glass. That night, she slept deeply, the best sleep she'd had in weeks. When she woke, sunlight filtered through gauzy curtains. She stretched, feeling unreasonably refreshed, and patted down for breakfast. Margaret was there, humming softly as she served coffee and blueberry scones. "Did you rest well?" "Better than I have in ages," Claire admitted. "Do you get many travelers out here?" "More than you'd think," Margaret said with a knowing smile. "Some stay for a night. Some a bit longer." The other guests trickled in, greeting her cheerfully. They looked exactly the same as the night before. Same clothes, same smiles, same air of gentle contentment. She mentioned leaving after breakfast, and they all gave the same kind of look, polite but faintly regretful. "Leaving so soon?" asked the knitter. "The weather's turning again. It's safer to stay." And indeed, when Claire glanced outside, the sky was dimming to pewter once more. The rain had returned as though on cue. "Maybe just one more night," she said, half to herself. "Wonderful," Margaret said. "I'll keep your room ready." That one night turned into 3, then 5. The days blurred together. Morning coffee, quiet reading by the fire, stories with the others after dinner. Every day felt like stepping into a photograph. Soft edges, warm light, no rush, no worry. She tried once to leave, packed her bags, thanked Margaret, even got as far as her car. But when she started down the road, fog closed in thick as milk. The inn sign appeared again through the mist, as if she'd turned in a circle. She laughed nervously, parked again, and told herself she'd just try tomorrow. Tomorrow always came, but it always looked the same. The same golden leaves, same newspaper headline in the old man's hands. And the guests? They began to feel like actors in a play that never ended. One evening, Claire asked Margaret about it, about the unchanged days, the cars that gleamed like new, though they were decades old. Margaret's kind expression didn't falter. "We like things the way they are," she said gently. "People rush so much out there. They age so quickly. Here, time doesn't trouble anyone." Her eyes lingered on Claire's face. "You look tired, dear. Why don't you rest? You'll feel better in the morning." That night, Claire couldn't sleep. The storm howled outside, and the inn's walls creaked softly, almost like sighs. She got up and walked the hallway barefoot. Downstairs, the fire still burned. The guests were all there, every one of them, sitting perfectly still, gazing into the flames. Their smiles were faint, but constant. For the first time, she noticed how pale their skin was, how their movements seemed rehearsed. She whispered, "What are you?" The old man turned to her slowly. "Guests," he said simply, "just like you." The next morning, the sky was clear. Claire's car was already packed. She didn't remember doing it. Margaret stood by the porch, hands clasped, watching her go. "You're always welcome here, Claire," she said softly. "We'll keep your room waiting." Claire nodded numbly and drove off. This time, the road stayed open, the woods passing by like a dream she couldn't quite wake from. When she reached the next town, she pulled into a diner for coffee. The waitress poured her a cup, smiled and said, "You come from up near Maple Hollow?" Claire blinked. "Yes. How'd you know?" The waitress's smile faded a little. "That old place burned down years ago. Haven't been open since the 50s. Claire froze. "That can't be right. I just stayed there." The waitress frowned, wiping the counter. "Honey, that inn's nothing but a foundation now. Folks still say they see it sometimes, though, usually when the weather turns bad. A warm light through the fog. Guess it's just one of those places that doesn't know how to let go." Claire looked down. Her coffee had gone cold. When she raised her hand to brush her hair back, she saw it, faint and silvery against her wrist, a burn mark shaped like a key. And for just a second, she could smell it again. Cinnamon, pine, and smoke. Thank you for spending some time here at Whispering Cabins. where the light is low and the stories linger. If you enjoyed tonight's tale, don't forget to subscribe or share with someone who loves a gentle chill before bed. Until next time, sleep well, if the night lets you.